Thank you all very much. It's wonderful to be here at the Laurel Theater with all my friends and band and this new CD and the Varsity Romeos and other guests and folks. And, you know, I was just thinking, about 45 years ago, I lived on the other side of 17th on Laurel Avenue. Paid $62.50 a month for an apartment down there. I think they tore the apartment down and built a parking lot or something out of it. But you know, I sort of picked some seasonal pieces for this performance tonight. Kind of being that it's Christmas time, drinking time. The first piece I'm going to do is called Fancy Bottle. I don't need no fancy paper wrapped around this whiskey jar. They don't need no green ribbons. They're fine just the way they are. I don't need no plastic Santa, and I don't need nothing buttons and bows. All I need is your love and a bottle before you close. All I want, all I need is your love and a bottle before you close. And you know, it's December and there's little bells ringing out in front of the grocery stores and Walmarts and Targets, and I got thrown out of the Preservation Club one night about 3 a.m. when it closed, and got in my car and drove down to Pete's, and there was this lady standing on the sidewalk. She was going like this, and I thought she just wanted me to go ahead and turn and get out of her way so she could cross the street, and I turned and looked back in the rearview mirror. And she'd sat down on the sidewalk and she had some bags with her. So I made a lot of one-ways back around to her and watched her for a minute and dialed 911, and I'd been drinking. And they wanted some kind of description, and I said, she's the only lady who was sleeping in the sidewalk in front of Pete's Cafe at this address. So, but about 15 minutes, a lady cop come. She said she'd take care of her. Later on that week, I was down at another bar, and the bouncer in the front of the house said, don't give him any money. And I thought, boy. So this is called You Never Know. It was only the ringing of a bell. You threw $1 in the pot to maybe save yourself from hell. But what about the man you saw the other day? You just turned around and walked away. All he needed was a hand. He didn't have a bell. All he needed was a cup of coffee, hotter than hell. His feet were wet and his fingers cold. Oh, you never know, a cup of coffee might have saved his soul. His feet were wet and his fingers cold. Oh, you never know, you might have been rolled. His feet were wet and his fingers cold. You never know, a cup of coffee might have saved his soul. A cup of coffee might have saved his soul. You know, I'm the poet laureate of the Appalachian Hippie Nation, the Appalachian Hippie poet. Let's hear it for Janet Hippie Jacks. If you don't know about it, look us up. And I go early in the week and sort of help get the grounds ready, and I got there like on a Wednesday at noon, and a lot of folks have already been out working, volunteers, and I started hugging everybody like, if you know me very well, you know I love to hug you. And this one lady said, honey, don't hug me, I smell like Randy's trailer. I thought, oh, there's a love story right there. She smelled like Granny's trailer. Oh, I knew where she had been. She smelled like Granny's trailer. I knew she'd been with him. She smelled like Granny's trailer, smoked cat piss and all. She smelled like Granny's trailer. For a hobo, she did fall. She smelled like Granny's trailer. Oh, she done took up with another man. She smelled like Granny's trailer and broke my heart. Don't you understand? So, I don't know why you start writing what you start writing. It's always a mystery to me how things seem to happen. I had my 50th high school anniversary back in July, and I piled through a bunch of old boxes to find the annuals and all the stuff. And you know, it's sad to say, but I found this in that box, and I got it out. And this and a young friend of mine and her mama have been responsible for a new piece I'm going to recite you tonight. It's called Mama Done Told Me. I got the good book Mama gave to me. She said, read it, boy, it'll set you free. I got this good book in 1958. Mama done told me that's the way to the pearly gate. Mama done told me that's the way to the pearly gate. I got the good book Jesus wrote in red. I got the good book. Mama done told me. Red is what he said. Mama done told me. Red is what he said. I got the good book. Oh, and a piece of pie. I got the good book. Mama done told me. It don't lie. Mama done told me. It don't lie. I got the good book and a piece of cake. Oh, hell, Mama done told me Satan's lying in wait. Mama done told me Satan's lying in wait. I got the good book and a cold, cold beer. I got the good book and I feel Jesus is near. I got the good book and a bottle of wine. Oh, I got the good book. Might read it sometime. I got the good book. I might read it sometime. So, you'll hear a little bit about a preamble to one of the poems that's on Van's CD when I perform it later, but some of you may know I have a cemetery restoration project down in Arkansas. It's a black cemetery on top of the Indian Mound. And you can read about the black guides and paddlers that are buried there from 100 years ago at duck hunting stories by Nash Buckingham. I have a whole research project on Nash Buckingham. And if I go the slow road from Memphis to the cemetery, you go through a little town, and there's 40 houses and a liquor store. If you stop and buy liquor, it's like the late night motel check-in in the bad part of town. You put your money in the slot underneath the thick glass, and the whiskey comes out of his shoe about your knees. And I'd always wanted to write something about this little town, but I never knew what. And it never happened until I stopped there and bought whiskey on a Saturday as I was coming back to Knoxville. And that next week, I was down at WDDX Blue Plate Special. And I chose to be there that particular day. It was May the 23rd, 5 years after my wife of 35 years passed away. And she passed away at 1:45 on the 23rd of May, 2006. And I chose to be at the Blue Plate Special at WDDX. And I penned this within that hour. It's called Jericho. The old man, he stopped along the road. He needed something for the soul. And the liquor store in Jericho, they had liquid soul to go. He drank it dry, began to cry, drank it dry, wondered why. Why on the road to Jericho did he want that whiskey soul? The answer is quite simple, my friends. She's been gone for years. All of his time is measured in whiskey and tears. And I've got 45 seconds left according to my iPhone thing down here at my feet. And I often say that, if you notice, most of my stuff is short. I can recite most of my stuff while these wonderful singer-songwriters are strumming their guitar, getting ready to sing their song. So I often say the poet can afford brevity. So I'm going to give you a one-line love story I wrote. And then we went off stage, and I want to thank Van and all the people with Laurel for having me, and thank all y'all for coming. I'm known as the Appalachian Hippie poet. I thank you for listening. She drew a heart in the dust on the windshield of my pickup truck. Thank you very much.
Mr. Bill Alexander. We'll be back up with this thing.
I was listening to Towns Van Zandt, and I can't really tell you which song inspired this. But I wrote it for myself and some friends that were going through some hard times. And it's called Red Red Wine. You're going to drown tomorrow if you cry too many tears for yesterday. Oh, that's what Towns did say. He said, heaven is the way she is. Rain falls and rivers flow. And now I'm telling you, I must go. So cry all your tears for me today. Tomorrow feel the sunshine. Tomorrow drink some red, red wine. Tomorrow some moonshine. Don't cry for me. Feel the sunshine. Don't cry for me. Drink some red, red wine. Don't cry for me. Drink some red, 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 red wine.